Monsieur le vice-président de la République de Gambie, cher grand frère Mohamed Diallo,
of the Senegalo-Gambian Secretariat,
directeurs généraux des
the
agences en charge de la
Director
promotion
Generals
des
of the
investissements
Trade and Investment Promotion
de Gambie et
Agencies
du Sénégal,
of the Gambia and Senegal,
Monsieur les directeurs généraux des
the
agences,
Director Generals
Messieurs,
of
Mesdames les
the
membres du secteur
agencies,
privé,
honorable members of the private sector,
formels comme informels,
whether you are in the informal sector or
Chers
informal
invités,
sector, distinguished invitees,
Monsieur le vice-président,
Mr. Vice President,
gannaaw bi ñu nuyoo ñi fi teew ñëpp,
apart from greeting all those who are present
dañuy
here
doore
today,
ñu wax ci gërëm
we
ci
would want to
tertu
start
ngeen ñi tertu
by
fii ci Gambie.
thanking you for the honor you have bestowed us
muy
here in the
ñaareelu
Gambia.
tertu ci
The visit,
diggante ñaar
and
fukki fan,
this is the second visit,
waaye muy tertu boo xam ne dafa
but
feddali
then this visit is
diggante
significant
ñaari réew yi
between the two countries.
nga xam ne
And,
frontière
you know, between the two countries,
làkk gu ñu jëlee feneen rek moo ko def
the
ñaari réew
borders and the languages that we inherited divided into
xool
two,
ko ci
but
diine yi,
tradition.
xool ko ci population yi,
And if you look at the population
kenn mënu ko
dynamics,
xàjjale def ko ñaari réew.
nobody can divide the two countries.
ñu am mbégte teew fii ci
We
li ñu
are
dajale
here today
ndax li ñu dajale ñaar la
to talk about two issues.
benn
We are
bi
here for two
ci
issues.
li ñuy
Number
def
one,
ëllëg ci secrétariat
what
permanent bi am
we would
diggante
do at the
Gambia ak
level
Sénégal,
of the Senegalo-Gambian Permanent Secretariat,
waaye
but
dañ
then,
dañoo jiitaloon li ñu dajale tey.
but
ma
what
jàpp ne
brings
ci li
us
gën a am solo la
here today, I believe, is
Ndax
of significant importance
ay réew
because, you know, countries,
politique xàjjaleel neen ba
politics can divide them
ngàndaay jóg ci,
to the extent of
waaye ay réew
other issues happening. But
business
then, for the
ak
countries,
commerce
business
ak investissement
and trade
dajale
and
leen
investment brings them
jubóole leen
together
ba ñu mujj a nekk sax
so that
ay ensemble yu am
at
doole.
the final analysis, they can
Kon
be strong
yoon
blocks.
bi gën a gàtt
So the shortest
ci andi
way
jàmm
to
ak ci
get to
saxal jàmm
peace, to ensure
waaye
that
ak ci
peace
gën a
is
dëgëral
showed,
ay relation
and but people
day
strengthen
jaar ci
the
yoonu
relationship
commerce.
has to go through trade and business.
boo jëlee lu mel ni Union européenne
If you look at the European Union,
ñëpp xam nañ ni xeex yi gën a
everybody
métti ci àdduna
knows that the
bu ñu tuddee ko
biggest
guerre mondiale
fights in the world, known as the
ma nga
World
dooree
Wars,
foofa
started in the
te
European
ñaari réew
countries.
yu ko doon
And
yu ko
the
sumb
two countries who highlighted
ñoo
this, who
wëlbatiku
spearheaded this,
taxawal li ñuy tuddee tey Union européenne te li
are
ko lay liy
the
laytaay bi yëpp
ones who put in place the European
mooy
Union.
commerce
And the
ci li jëm
underpinning
ci
factor
charbon
is trade of
ak
coal
yeneen source d'énergie.
and other sources of energy.
kon
So therefore,
ba ci wàllu culture
talking about culture,
lay gën a jegele réew yi
what brings
wala peuple
together closely,
bokk na
closer,
ci commerce bokk
you
na
talk
ci
about trade
lépp lu jëm ci économie
and all issues
bokk na ci li jëm ci
relating to
investissement.
economies and investment.
ba làkk yi ñuy làkk sax
Even the languages that
day am
we speak,
toujours
there is
liy
always
yóbbaale làkk yi
what will
ba tax ñu gën a
spearhead
mën a
the
tasaaroo
languages.
day
I mean,
ànd ak ñaare commerce
It
wala diine.
also goes with trade
kon
and
suñu dajee
business.
fii tey
So our meeting here
ci
today
ñaari réew yi nga xam ne benn la daal
in two countries which in final analysis are one, to talk about
li jëm ci
economy,
commerce
to talk about
waaye
trade,
war a waxtaane ci li jëm
and
ci
also to
investissement
talk
nga
about
xam ne moo yor économie moo yor
investments,
commerce
which
tamit.
is the backbone of the
jàpp
economy
naa ni lu
and
ama
trade.
am solo la
So in view of the
loo
above, I
tax ñu
believe
amoon
that this is significant. So
ñu defoon ko farata teewe
this
fii
is why we hosted
gën a feddali
the second
solo
edition
gi ñu
here
jox ndaje
to
yu mel
view
nii
to showcasing
li nag di
such
ñaareelu édition
meetings.
bi
This is the second edition
lu am
of
solo
the forum. It's commendable.
ñu ne édition bi dañ ko teg
This edition
ci thématique gu
has as its
li ñuy
theme
def ba harmoniser
harmonizing
li nga xam ne mooy
of
environnement des affaires
friendlier business
li ñuy def ba
environment.
lépp
All that
lu
we are doing,
li nga xam ne moo wër
all
dem
that we
beeg
are
dikk bi
doing
ak jëflante bi ci wàllu commerce économie ak
that
investissement
underpins trade,
ñu fexe ba
economy,
niroole ko
and
diggante
investment,
Gambie
that
ak
we have to
Sénégal.
harmonize this between the Gambia and
loolu
Senegal. This,
boo ko jëlee ci ensemble li ñu bokk.
in the final analysis, if you look
En
at it
tant
from a global
qu'Africain,
perspective,
dañuy njëkk a
as
wax Union
African
africaine.
and Pan-Africans, we
Waaye
have to
Union
talk about
africaine yaatu
African
na.
Union first. You know, the
boole
African
réewu
Union
Afrique yëpp
is
daanaka
vast. The idea is to bring together
espace bu yaatu boo
all
xam ne nu mu
the
yaatu
African
yaatu yaatu
countries in a big
ci 30
space,
millions de kilomètres carrés
more than 30 million
Jiit
square
yi
kilometers.
dem nañ ba jàpp
The
ni
heads of states
war nañu fexe ba
have
harmoniser
deemed it necessary
ba
to
ñoŋal
harmonize
lépp loo xam ne dafa jëm
all issues
ci lu permettre
relating that would enable
Afrique doon benn marché.
Africa to be a single
looloo
market.
andi ZLECAf bi nga xam ne
This is why
réew
the
Afrique yëpp signé nañ
the
ko ba mu des benn
AFCTFA,
fi mu toll nii.
all African countries with the exception
ñu ñëwaat
of
nag
one. Now,
ñun ak Gambie bokk
we
li nga xam
and
ne
the
CEDEAO
Gambia, we all are part and parcel of
muy réew yi nga xam ne
ECOWAS.
Afrique sowu jant
ECOWAS, these are
lañu dajale.
bring together countries in the western part of
Play now.
ak juróom benn réew.
we have 17 countries who have decided to set up a integrated zone, a single market, so that any things that relating all the obstacles should be overtaken. We even talked about creating a common external tariff, mainly to harmonize all issues relating to customs when it comes to goods coming from other areas into our zone. Furthermore, we have participated in other fora, because not long ago I came here to attend the OMVG meeting. These are countries that share common heritage, because God brings together people, sometimes by force. Well, people say you cannot choose your relatives, but then when it talks about states, you cannot choose your neighbor. But sometimes God brings you together so that you can manage the affairs. So, for example, the lands, the rivers, the Casamance River, the Gambia River, it's our heritage between Senegal and the Gambia. And this is why Senegal and Gambia met at that time, see how they can come up with a charter to see how together we can smoothly manage the Gambia River. Thereafter, Guinea-Bissau and Conakry joined the OMVG. But if you look at the status, it is Senegal and the Gambia who established the OMVG. So, Vice President and the President, Mr. Barrow, we should look at the texts, because these texts have been signed a long time ago. Furthermore, this is, I've talked about a broader aspect, AU, ECOWAS, but then we have a bilateral institution, the Secretariat between the Gambia and Senegal. As God will wish, in 2000, from 2011 to date, namely 13 years now, the permanent secretariat never met with a view to looking at what can be done and to smooth it so that we'll be able to all benefit from it. So today, our meeting here in Banjul, within that framework, we would like to thank God, but then we would have to commend the two heads of state, President Adama Barrow and President Bassirou Diomaye Faye. But then, please allow me to congratulate also the Vice President, because he was the one who mooted the initiative. He sat with us and said we would like to come to Dakar on a working visit. This took 2 days, and during those 2 days, we discussed about this matter. President Adama Barrow was duly informed, and that before the end of the year, let us try and bring together the community to relaunch the ideas that are beneficial to both of us. So today's meeting is part and parcel of the Trade Investment Forum. So I would like to congratulate the Gambian authorities. I would like to congratulate the conveners, APIX and JIPA. And also, I would like to congratulate the diplomatic representatives and the two private sectors of both the Gambia and Senegal. Dear brothers and sisters, I just said that these two countries are one and the same. So, dealing on trade and business should be between since 2001, when it was initiated with 80,000 CFA francs, that is to say, trade between the two countries. And 2023, we are talking about 117 billion. There has been a lot of evolution. And it should be stated that this figure should have been hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of $billion, and this should be multiplied by 10 or by 5. This is our ambition now. In the years to come, if we meet again now towards the next 3 years, the 117 billion in terms of commercial trade, we hope that this would attain $500 million. At that time, we will be concentrating on mutual benefits and statistics and data have shown this. And this can be done in all fields. We have talked about agriculture here, but then we have infrastructure, we have energy. We have talked a lot about energy during the OMVG meeting. Is here in both countries. The transport sector, which is indispensable between the Gambia and Senegal. Land transportation, maritime transportation, because we all have one coast, and then river transportation, but also air transportation. All these above sectors should be developed. When it comes to tourism, and when it comes to the digital economy, the industrial sector, the oil sector today, oil products, the way we have seen it in Senegal, the availability of oil products in Senegal should be the same as in Senegal, because it's the same person. Maybe it's the prospective platform which is different, but then from the north to the south, you will find oil products. Now, when it comes to fisheries, all the above potential sectors, and we should be able to enhance them between Senegal and the Gambia. But also, like in his presentation, the Director General of APIX said the manner in which we enhance the relationship between Banjul and Dakar, because when we came, what we had our heart was that all our policies would be taught from our capital. But then if you want to develop the country, everywhere you go in the country, you have to have the same level of development. So Dakar is not, Senegal does not stop at Dakar. So consequently, our transformation program to 2050, Senegal will be divided into hubs, 8 hubs. And these hubs, each of them should be a cradle of development, so that the way we think about it, the way we showcase it, would not mean somebody staying in Dakar and seeing things from the prism of Dakar, but they should take into account the realities of that hub. So we believe that the poles or the hubs, the border hubs, if you take, for example, the Gambia, it has a border with the central hub that is between the region of Kaolack, Kaffrine, and Fatick. This is on the northern part. But then Gambia also has a frontier with the southern hub, that is Ziguinchor, Kolda, and Sédhiou. We believe that if we want to talk about development amongst our two countries, it should not only be between the capital, Banjul, and Dakar, but it should happen concretely on the ground. So those poles, those hubs, how can they work with the Gambia on the border areas? It is part of our agenda. We have to have cross-border economic zones, which would be managed by both countries. These would be economic zones that, first and foremost, would bring together the national private sector, but also would bring foreign investment. And there are rules that govern these hubs, and this would be a win-win partnership. So let us work in that spirit, and whatever we do, each country should find benefits in it. So this is why we are saying that the second edition of this Trade and Investment Forum that we are convening here today is just an extension of what we have done. But then we would like to place particular emphasis. The world is not waiting for us. Africa should know where our backwardness is. And we have what others have been doing in one day. We Africans, we want to do it in 2 months. This explains why we are behind. Cooperation should be done on a day-to-day basis, not only from one summit to the other. This is the crux of the matter. This is why the Secretariat, Permanent Secretariat headquarters in East Gambia, and each country will appoint their representative. And God willing, we will infuse more dynamism into the Secretariat. We will give it the necessary wherewithal so that it will play its rightful role, the role of liaison, facilitation, and fast-tracking of a relationship between the two countries. So we are happy, we commend that for some months, it has, if the cooperation between two countries has been rekindled, because in last July, we...
Assalamu alaikum, mbokk yi, ñu ngi leen nuyu, di leen jaar, di nuyu kilifa diine, di nuyu kilifa aada. Ñu waxe kilifa diine dañuy nuyu waa Tivaouane, waa Touba, waa Medina Baye, waa Léona Niassène. Bu ko defee ñu yóbbaale ñi des ñépp rek. Bu ñu jógee foofu ñu nuyu tamit ñi nga xam ne ñooy waa diaspora bi di leen nuyu bu baax di fekk ñoom ñu abonné di aimer di commentaire tamit ñuy partage suñu ay liens ndax day wax ne waa diaspora bi rek luñ bokkul baaxul. Tey nag ñu war a ñëw def benn jàngat bu ndaw bi am ci Barthélémy Dias bi nga xam ne dañ ko war a jël maanaam ñu ko bëgg a jëlee li nga xam ne mooy maire Dakar muy ni coow indi polémique mais nag ay ñëw ci loolu dañuy wax ne ñun lu mante am bokkuñu Pastef lu mante am mooy bokk na ci ñu gën a contre politique Pastef waaye nag lu ñu leen mënti wax mooy dañuy accompagner nguur gi ci 5 ans yi pour mën a réussir programme bi nga xam ne am na ko ndax bu ko réussir Sénégal rek moo ci gagnant loolu la ñuy ñaan loolu la ñuy xeex ba tax dañoo bokkoon sax ñu gëm ne dañ ko woon a jox majorité assemblée bi ba non seulement mu jënd ko am ci anam boo xam ne anam bu rëy la kon loolu la ciy gën ndax Ousmane Sonko loo ko mën a wax ku am lu mu gëm la ku am vision la